Let me be clear here to those of you that, again, viewers or listeners don't realize today I'm going to put a disclaimer at the front of this episode. But,
I was gonna say after.
Colorful language ahead.
all right, in the history of Boston women's hockey, there have been 5 championships and 4 additional championship appearances, most recently with the Boston Fleet of the PWHL. Welcome to the Fleet. Welcome to the Armada. Disappointingly, we are not adding anything to the end of that. That's going to remain the same for a whole off-season year at least. Good, great, amazing, love it. Welcome to the post-mortem episode edition of Fleet Diehards, brought to you by Bruins Diehards, and regretting every single joke we made to Brews and Bruins because we're in the same boat as them. I want to be positive, but let's just rip the bandage off, shall we, guys?
Sure. What was the stat that you posted the last time the Boston women's hockey team had missed the playoffs?
Yep, so the last time a Boston women's hockey team has missed the playoffs was 2012. It was the 2011-2012 season.
Wow.
Now, to be fair, the NW and PHF didn't restrict teams from making the playoffs. Something to see, like 1 through 4 made it. 1 through 5 made it in the 2 seasons when there were 5. So yeah, the bubble season was the first time that they kind of said, "Hey, only 4 teams make the playoffs." But the Fleet or the Pride never failed to miss it. All I'm saying is, even when they were play-ins, Pride never failed to miss it. So yeah, it's the consolation that I am taking from that is the same thing that I posted immediately after, is that the year after the Blades won the Clarkson Cup, so Blades become a franchise, barely scrape into the playoffs, which with a losing record, but which sounds vaguely familiar. They lose in the first round. The next year they miss it altogether. The year after that, it's a team that boasts Hillary Knight as its captain wins the Clarkson Cup. So
Sounds a little eerily familiar.
just creepily familiar. All I'm saying. Well, is next year is what, 2026? Okay, so it's not a divisible. It's a 13-year difference. Dude, this sucks. I'm sorry, this sucks. I don't like missing the playoffs. I don't like watching things go down the way that they're going down. We should be playing Montreal tomorrow, or next Tuesday, whenever it is. That's not the point. We should be playing Montreal. Like
Personally, it's not missing the playoffs. It was how embarrassing that game was. Personally.
They picked the worst time to have their worst game. Like, full stop.
Terrible. There was nothing in them.
And there were a lot of injuries and stuff too, but still.
But they didn't seem to want it. Like, I was talking to someone and I was like, they didn't want it. It seemed like they were just banking on Ottawa losing out again, and Ottawa didn't lose out again, and that monstrosity happened.
Yeah, it's 3 teams tied with 44 points. Like, do you know how? Like, there was like how many little lapses throughout the year where we lost a point because we either ended up going to OT because of a last minute goal or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, there's so many different little things that just that close.
100%. They got too comfortable with just taking it the distance, and then that's what ended up biting them in the butt at the end of the season, is that they got too comfortable taking it to the distance. They didn't get enough in regulation, and they lost the tiebreaker because regulation wins is the first tiebreaker. So they, like I said, they got too comfortable bringing it to the distance and getting to a point at least, and that's what ended up, putting the nail in the coffin.
I mean, let's run down the list of just, you choked to Montreal, and that game went to OT. There's points right there that if you finished a game that you were up, you'd be in the playoffs right now because it would be a regulation win. You'd have the point difference. That's one. That's
Wasn't there one where we let up like 3 goals at like like the last couple minutes? I feel like against like Ottawa or something. I don't remember exactly.
The Gannis game against Toronto, we were up 1-0 going into the third, ended up
Right.
losing like 4-1 or 4-2.
Mm.
That is, you just play defense.
Yeah.
You just go all in on defense. In my opinion, you're up. You got 20 minutes to go. All in on defense. You let up 4 goals in the third. You lose in regulation. You don't even get a point.
Yeah, it's tough. There's just so many. I feel like it's just if the puck just bounces one way too, it's just like one play could have been in the playoffs. But
That one game where I think Ottawa tied it in with like 3 seconds left in the game.
Yeah.
And then won.
I think that's the one that I was
Something.
thinking. I think they scored 2 or something in the last like couple minutes on that one.
Yeah. They got too comfortable with taking it the distance and trying to run it out in overtime or the shootout. To be fair, I'll give them some slack that they were injured like all year. The whole one person was at least injured like 90% of the year. But that's not enough. You had the talent. You made some poor decisions. Coach Kessel, you made some poor decisions. I love you. I will defend you to the day I die. But some poor management decisions, line management, roster management decisions that ended up costing you the playoffs, possibly the Walter Cup.
Well, definitely the
Yeah,
can't win the cup
but
without being in the
yeah.
playoffs.
Possibly.
I'm not. This is goodness gracious. This is like in 2020 when they like gave it because the Pride were the best team in the league. They kind of were like, well, you can have the Isabel Cup, but you're not Isabel Cup champions. This is what you're.
Who knows? If they made the playoffs, they could have made another run. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's a shame.
It's
'cause that's,
easy.
Like,
It's easy to go on a run. It's easy to go on a run here.
Well, it's only 2
the
best
thing
of
is,
5.
like,
Yeah, go ahead.
stepping up is what we talked about last week for this team. We sat there and we said this team steps up when they need to. They've stepped up in injury. They've done all that, and they didn't. They did not.
8-1. That
8-1.
it
I
went-
would have
it
felt
went
better if
from-
we got shut out.
It went from bad to worse to I don't want to be here anymore.
Yeah, it was bad.
And
I mean, it was 5-0 in the start of the third or something like that. Just
It was horrific. The defense wasn't defensing. The offense
But
wasn't offensing.
But the defense wasn't doing anything, and we're pulling the goalie with 16 minutes left. I think that's the. I don't want to sit there and be like that's the first time in hockey history that's happened, because I assure you, it's probably happened with weirder. That's not what I'm saying, but
You're down 5.
I mean, nothing else was working, right? So I mean, you might as well. They had already let in 5, so you might as well just play without the goalie. It's the same thing I was saying about Hellebuck this whole series, and then they ended up winning though, so it's a little bit different.
Well, let's look on the good side. Jessica DiGirolamo's first ever PWHL goal
Oh,
to
wow.
cut down the lead, to cut down the deficit to 6.
wow. So
I didn't even
that's-
realize that.
So that was quite literally what's that? 15% like cut down. It's an eighth. So
Yeah.
And then they immediately scored again.
Yeah.
Almost immediately scored again.
12.5. So yeah, 12.5%. Whoa. I want to be happy for Digi. I do. I genuinely
She told me she has nightmares about this.
I genuinely think she has worked hard this season for this. I just feel so bad that it had to be in that
That game.
monstrosity of a hockey game.
Yeah.
No. I saw her at one of the season ticket events. I go, "You're getting your first goal soon, right?" And she goes, Oh, I have nightmares about that. But going out the crossbar and all that.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
It's just
quite the game.
headache inducing. I mean, so let's break into it. Let's crack into the outline of shame. So, the first question I guess I have to pose is, or at least a point they have to bring up. This is the same team we saw all year. This is the same team we saw at the start of the year. I mean, it was the team that we were complaining about. It was the team that we were sitting there and we were saying, man, this team doesn't have a playoff shot. Second to last is it. Second overall. This is all the stuff that when we started doing well, we got confident. We were like, yeah, we're not that team. And lo and behold, we were that team.
It took Minnesota to expose us for like the 50th time.
It's the fact that you can't beat Minnesota. Like,
it's always Minnesota that does this stuff to us.
Did we beat
they
them this
couldn't beat Montreal this year.
We beat them once.
Oh, we did, right? Yeah.
They beat Minnesota and Montreal once. And that's two teams that if you made the playoffs, you probably would have had to face. Look, I don't envy Montreal not picking Minnesota. If I'm Montreal, I'm picking Ottawa too.
Right now.
I match up against Ottawa better. And I think Toronto really wanted to not have to play Minnesota because they're going to have some yips. It's going to be the same arena. It's going to be the same everything. It's almost the exact same seeding matchup. So, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I wouldn't want to face Minnesota coming off an 8-1 win.
Pretty much two Nicole Hensley shutouts as well. I mean...
Yeah, and then Nicole Hensley's actually playing good for once.
Yeah, are they?
Takes
She...
goalie turning it on.
Yeah, I guess I haven't really followed Minnesota very much, but
Yeah,
have they
she's
been
played,
playing Rooney or?
They've been playing Rooney like 90% of the year.
Yeah.
And
Oh
they're-
yeah.
and
so
they're
now
like,
she's played 19
Hensley, you're
games.
coming in
Hensley
right
played
for
11.
playoffs.
Wow. So do or die game, and they put in for they're both gold star goalies, but effectively they're backup.
Yeah.
And still
Because she
completely dominated.
she pulled the Paul, or I guess technically he pulled the Paul Mara and said, you know what, if you get the shutout, you get to play the next game. And goodness gracious, it pissed off Luisa Salander because Katie Burt and Corinne Schroeder would pull shutouts out like nobody's business. But yeah, he sat there and he was like, if you're the hot hand, if you got a shutout, you earned the right to play the next game. And again, I think it was in like 22 or 23 that Salander got the shutout, and it was on like the Sunday game, and it was like, well, she's playing next Saturday. And I love me some Luisa Salander, but that wasn't the right decision because she got lit up the next game against Metro. I remember that, but that's not the point.
He's reminiscing on the past to forget about the present.
Yeah, you know what? Paul Mara's team would not listen. I love Coach Kessel. That's not what I'm saying. Paul Mara would not let that happen to his team. I'm sorry. Listen, Coach Kessel, I think that you were a great strategist. I think that you were a really good coach in this league. I think that you got a lot out of a team last year that wasn't giving you anything.
Yeah.
You want to talk about the 2024 squad? That's what it was. She got a ton out of a squad that was giving her nothing. And then you had a squad that was giving you something that, was a little beaten and battered by injuries. But the fact of the matter is, why didn't you just plug it when Mueller went down? Why didn't you just plug and play Bilka in that spot and see if maybe it had the same chemistry? Because the line switch it was very Jim Montgomery-esque. It was very, well, something's not working, so I got to it worked, and they changed the lines. It's exactly what Monty did in the Panthers series. Oh, well, we won this game, but now that I'm up 3-1, I want to try something else. And it feels like we won that first game against Toronto, so let's try something instead of just put Bilka in Mueller's spot. I know that Bilka's coming off an injury too, but put Bilka in Mueller's spot for the Toronto game. And if it didn't work, don't do it in the Charge game. But if it does, there you go. There's not this huge, all right, let's shake everything up. I know that Hannah Bilka is not Alina Mueller. Like, Hannah Bilka is a great player, but I'm not saying that there is not a sizable difference on the ice between the two. But
they both have their own strengths and weaknesses. Mm-hmm. But coming back from Worlds, we had basically the same lineups, but where Alina Mueller was Hannah Bilka. And guess what? We won that game 3-0. And then the next game, guess what? We didn't win that game.
No.
But we changed a little bit up. You know what the difference is? Hadley Hartmut was in that one game that we won, and she has not been seen since.
But she was. The weirder part is she was listed as the 7th defender in those games as well. Like,
Yeah, Hadley Hartmut was the 7th defender in the one game out of the 3 we played. In the one game that we won, she was on the ice as the 7th defender. In the 2 games that we lost, she wasn't. She was scratched. Maybe it's Hadley Hartmut.
no, do you want to know what the point that I genuinely want to make here? Because I don't want to sound like the world's biggest homer and the guy that hammers the same freaking point every week. But you were 6-2 with Jillian Dempsey on your roster.
I was gonna call it. I was gonna say he's about to talk about Jill.
You were 6-2.
It was going through my mind.
Turned it around with her on the roster, and then you put Kelly freaking Babstock in for a spark plug.
She played a lot too.
I don't like. I'm not trying to crash on Babstock, but if we're playing good, why change it? Why change it? What, do you need some more grit? Not like this team has enough grit. This team has Lexia Gia. She's all grit, nothing else. A little bit of a distraction, but
I genuinely thought that we were over the Team USA, Team Canada politics this season of they get to control who's drafted. They like, let's not ignore it. Let's acknowledge the elephant in the room of last year of the Olympians had a lot of say on a lot of things. From, hey, these are places that we would like there to be franchises, to, hey, these are coaches that we would like, to, hey, I don't like this line. Like, let's not ignore the fact that the team got good last year in 24 when Kessel finally told the Olympians no and said, this is how we're going to do the lines, and it woke them up. Like, let's not ignore the fact that that Courtney Kessel finally said, wait a minute, I'm a good coach. This is what the line should look like, and we'll win. And she was going to, like, buy in or get off the boat. And they did.
One thing I've noticed about Kessel, and we've already kind of said it, she loves to mix her lines a lot and change them. When something's going good, like, I get trying to plug and play everybody, and so everybody's familiar with everybody. But if you're winning and everything's good, you keep those lines. You keep the hot hand. You keep the goalie that's playing good. Usually it was Aaron Frankel, but
yeah, it's coming in off the injury too. Just a rough game.
I don't think it.
I
like
think it was a game too soon. I think it was.
I would love to sit here and be like, oh, it wasn't Aaron Frankel, and a lot of it wasn't because, like I said, the defense that game was atrocious all game. They didn't have it in them. They didn't want it. They didn't have any pep in their step. They looked like a team that they knew they were going to lose going into that game. And Minnesota looked like a team that was ready for playoffs and ready to win another Welter Cup. And there was no motivation in that team. There was nothing saying, hey, we're going to come in this game and we're going to win this game. From puck drop to the final buzzer, there was no emotion in that team. They didn't care. They didn't want it. They were just like, let's get this over with. And I mean, I hate ripping into them. But I saw Alina Mueller in that box, and that team could have used her so much.
Yeah, it's easy to say, but I don't. She's hurt. I don't.
No, I'm not gonna say, oh, she should have gone out there hurt.
No,
I'm
of course
saying
not. No, yeah.
If she was healthy, you play her. She could have probably made a big difference in that game.
How many games did we play at 100% this year? Like,
the first game of the season.
right, but beyond that, like, is that
like 3 or 4?
Right.
Maybe.
I feel like somebody was always out.
We had an injury pretty early in the season. Yeah, I thought it was game 1, but yeah.
Bilko was out pretty early.
Bilka was out after rivalry series in December because you came back from that break in January.
And then once Bilka comes back, Mueller's hurt. Pelkey's hurt.
Gibby missed some time.
Yeah, missed some time.
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of all over the place. Like,
And this, and with expansion, this group can't go back at it again. This
No.
is the final. This was the final game for all these players together.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That was always
And this
even
is
without
the
the
game they
expansion.
go out on.
Yeah.
It's
They've
just
only got like 5 or 6 forwards signed for next year, so.
Mm.
yeah. You look, not to again just throw more wounds on top of wounds, but let's rip it open. Like, you guys remember 2019's Game 7 against St. Louis? You like when it felt like the Bruins just. You watched that first period and you were like, "Hey, guys, the hockey game started."
Mm-hmm.
It felt like that this game. It felt like we started going, and like Kalvin said, no emotion, but it was this, "Hey guys, hockey's being played," and I was mad about the first goal, but it was almost like I was expecting it because you could see it coming. They really were giving Frankel no protection, and it does not take long for the fuses in my head to go. Kind of hurt goalie without probably all her speed back playing through for her team. No defensive help, and there it is.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just I mean, I think I just blacked out most of it, but it just felt like one after another. Like I was like, okay, whatever, it's just one, no biggie. And it's like, okay, that second one was the big one that stands out because I was like, that was an uncharacteristic goal, but in from Frankel. That was like the only one that I was really like, oh man, that's tough. And then there's a third one, and I'm like, oh boy, this is not looking good. So and I was there, so I will say, to be fair, the arena was loud the whole game. They were still in it somehow. So
How did the New York Islanders go from pretty much a playoff to one overall? Just want
Did they
that noted.
really?
Sorry, that's what came across my feed. Was the Islanders.
Did you see? I wrote it in our chat, like in our little chat. I go, the Islanders went from 10 to 1.
on
Like-
10.
The Bruins dropped to 7.
Oh boy,
Whatever.
it just gets worse.
You know what? At least Danielle Marmer can draft. I mean,
Somewhat. She can't draft defenders, apparently.
yeah, I'm not wrong. Yeah, she could draft defenders that'll play forward. She can use the round 2 pick to play forward.
Well, she drafted Minnesota's one of their best defensemen, didn't she? So
Yeah, you mean the
Can draft them.
person that? I'm sorry, you mean the person that put the game away? That
yeah,
I sat there and was like, "We're in this," and then
The
Sophie
last
Jakes
3
and
years?
go, "Oh, okay."
Yep.
The last 2 years?
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, like, she wasn't performing with us.
But it,
no,
because
that
it
was a
goes
hockey trade. It's fine, but still.
But
Well,
it
you didn't
goes
give her enough
back
time.
to what I was saying about. I really thought this Team USA drama was over. If they get all this say, and it's like if we really played Babstock, because I don't know which Team USA player, but someone probably vouched that Bab should be playing. And it was you know what, hey, to get some morale, to make things happy. Like if that politics was really playing this, because it's a similar thing of why Jake's got traded. She wasn't feeling welcome in that locker room. It was that Team USA Olympian, you're not one of us pressure. And it was like, well, yeah, she just got out of college. She's not one of you, but she's pretty darn good.
Let's
I-
not,
yeah, I
put it away on your
forget.
choice.
Let's not forget she won the Patty Kazmaier as a defenseman
Mhm.
and robbed Alina Mueller, but
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to like retroactively.
There it is.
I think
There it is.
that was the Tapani trade, wasn't it?
yes, it was.
Yeah,
Like
that was the
Tapani
Tapani
is a massive part of like what this team was last year as well as this year.
Mhm.
Like I mean, it's hard to
was
argue that
good.
she's more impactful than Jake's would have been, but she's been
No, I think
unbelievable.
it was genuinely a good trade.
Yeah.
I do.
It was a good trade, but you know, I
But
think
of course, it bites us. Yeah.
Marmer hit on most of her trades. Let's be out of the 3 trades, I think 2 out of the 3 she hit on.
Yeah.
And the one, I think if you know me, I'm gonna say the one trade that she didn't hit on was the Lexia Gia trade.
Yeah, okay.
And-
I'll accept that.
Well, let's
I
think
like
about
Lexi, but
No, I hate being this way. I don't like See, I don't.
But funny too, because you say that like the team had like no effort and everything, but like I feel like when I see Lexi playing, it's like she does put out a ton of effort, like constantly, and she gets a ton of minutes because she earns them because she puts in a ton of work. They didn't she's disruptive and stuff like that. More than I would expect.
Angelo had like 19 points or something this year.
Yeah.
Arcangelo lit it up.
Yeah.
And then we had Lexi Gia with like 2 points.
Yeah.
But no, it's not like I'm not gonna really like go too far into it. I just think she's not focused enough on hockey and too focused on like social media.
I mean, she's playing for the New York Sirens next year anyway, so it doesn't matter.
She's playing wherever Taylor Gerard goes.
Which is going to be the New York. There is a chance Gerard goes home to Minnesota because Gerard will be a free agent as well. And
Michigan.
Yeah, but you understand that Minnesota is the closest to Michigan.
Yes. I had to say, wait, she's.
Buddy, I'm aware Mike Gerard would kill me, but that's not the point. Okay.
I don't know if they're going to have that much choice. It's going to be like this expansion draft is going to throw everything into a blender.
But that's the thing. I don't think Taylor Gerard gets picked in the expansion draft, and but I think so. She is the choice. She likes New York because it's similar to Connecticut. It's
I don't think either of them gets picked. To be completely honest,
I definitely think Lexi would get picked up. I think. I mean, you're going to be thinning the overall like strength of each team. I mean, by a pretty significant amount, and like these are like players with proven time and like with,
I want Taylor Gerard in Boston.
Yeah,
she was supposed to play for the Pride. And she never got to. She needs to be in Boston.
Believe me, I'm keenly aware that line was reassembled and then ripped away from us. Again, like
oh my god, we need that line. We need that line in the PWHL. We need the Mueller, Arad, and Murphy line.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you, but
but Mueller's. I'm not. This is the one thing I'm going to say bad about Alina Mueller. She is not good at the dot.
Oh. Well, she played way most of the year, didn't she?
Yes, her numbers at the dot.
She really played center at all for us. I think she started at the beginning of last year, but
because they moved it away because she kept losing draws.
Yeah. Who was it? Somebody won a ton of draws yesterday, or not yesterday at the game.
Bonnie wins a lot.
On the fleet. Sure.
No, God no. We didn't win anything. Tapani won. Tapani won more than half of her draws, but Kelly Panic.
Kelly Panic's really good at the draw.
25.
She's a special athlete.
Kelly Panic's really good at the draw.
I mean, she took 16 of them, so she was out there for, I mean, a lot.
Minnesota played their fourth line for most of the third period.
So. Yeah, well, that was the other thing too that I looked at like the day after because I wanted to like go back and look at it, and the first thing that I looked at was like the timeout ice, and then I was like, I can't look at anything else. Like I can't look at anything more. Like I think Kendall Quinn played like 13 minutes or something like that. Like not even like it like what I don't know.
They did their job. They locked it up in the first and said, "Let's go."
Yeah, we might as well. Yeah, take a break.
Let's not gas ourselves before the playoffs. Yeah, look, it just again was a disappointing start to the season, a disappointing end to the season. But man, from January to February, we had a lot of fun.
Oh yeah. It's rough, honestly.
All right, let's talk Coach Kessel on this because she has been a hotly debated topic on social media recently. Look, I like Coach Kessel. I do. Is it time though that the assistants get changed up? That something's got to give, something's got to happen here. Am I wrong in that?
I don't know. I'm a big coach. Like I said, I'm a big Coach Kessel fan.
Yeah. No, I'm a huge fan. I think she does a great job. I think for the most part. But I also think that all of the things that we're complaining about right now, about how it didn't seem like they had any emotion, it didn't seem like they were ready for the game, it didn't seem like they cared. That's her job. Her job is to make them care. It's to make them motivated and make sure that they're prepared for every game. So it's like, I don't want to see her gone, but I mean, we always say coaches get hired to get fired, and you're not going to pluck something out of this core group. So,
Well, sometimes we get plucked out of that core group anyways from that expansion.
well, yeah, but I mean, even like,
I'm just
I
gonna
mean,
keep-
like foundational
No,
players, like,
expansion.
yeah,
Yeah, I feel like she'd be better suited as like an assistant coach.
I don't know. My thing is like, what's the coaching pool even look like? Like, what
Yes, that
who's
too.
available? Like, what?
Right
Yes.
now, I'd throw money at Paul Mara, genuinely. I know that I sit there and I'm the Boston Pride homer through and through. Welcome to Pride Diehards reincarnated. And he's not a defensive coach. Like, goodness gracious, the man hates defense with every. It's so funny as a former defender how much he hates defense. But you know what he did? He rallied the troops, and that man was great at scheming up offense when he had to. Okay?
You know,
Even if you bring him in as an assistant. Heck, I want Paul Mara coaching the Boston Bruins. You want me to be 100% honest, but that's
you know who I think would be a very interesting choice. Dave Flint, the Northeastern coach.
Oh yeah.
He's very good with his goalies. If you didn't already know this, a very good goalie coach, and he's very good on his defense, and he's a pretty good solid with his offense too, considering he coached Kendall Coyne Schofield, he coached Cole Gerard, Maureen Murphy, Alina Mueller, a lot of these amazing talents, and I think Dave Flint is like he's a 5-tool player when it comes to a coach. He can do the goal. He's built phenomenal goalies. Aaron Frankel, Florence Schelling. I don't know if he coached Florence Schelling, but Aaron Frankel, Gwyneth Phillips, right now Lisa Janssen. Like you can't go wrong with someone like that.
But where's the winning is my question with him. He builds phenomenal regular seasons. He builds ranked programs. But where's the title? Where's the success in the NCAA playoffs is my thing. And if you like, and it's a very similar situation that you can raise the same question for Coach Kessel in her coaching and college career of, okay, where's the success in the playoffs? Because it wasn't there. She did the same thing. She built great regular seasons, but she didn't build playoff success. And you have the opposite side of the coin as well. If you have college playoff success with the Sirens right now, but is it building the right regular season? So it's a thing of the Sirens are built for the playoffs, but and especially if the coaching staff for the playoffs, but where is it when it comes to getting there? And I think that the Fleet have a lot, and it's the same with Northeastern. Let's get there. And it brings us to the similar point that we talked about on the podcast previously. If college is too lucrative to lead right now, you're no longer the top of the period, but you're kind of still the top of the pyramid.
I don't see anyone like from like one of those WCHA schools going. Like, what's Muzzerall or Brad Frost or Mark Johnson? I don't see any of them going. There's no way that. What are you doing?
The cat is standing in the middle of the green light.
Oh.
I was like,
if you lean over, you can kind of see it. Yeah.
I'm like talking, and I just see him like.
Yeah.
She was just staring,
okay.
man.
Yeah, I don't see any of these coaches going to make the jump unless there's a significant amount of money involved.
Well, and let's not forget that there's 2 other teams looking for head coaches right
Yeah.
now.
Yes.
At least. I mean, who knows?
I think someone that can fly under the radar is John Robleski, Team USA's coach.
Mhm.
Not currently affiliated with any other team except for Team USA Women's Hockey.
Yeah, I agree with you. We've talked about Robolewski on this pod before. Do I think he'd be an awesome coach? Yeah. Do I think he and Knight have a great rapport? Absolutely. I think he would make a lot of players on this team happy. I think if he gets the call, he's going to Seattle.
I I was talking about this the other day with our other lovely co-host.
Me, when I told you to stop because we need to do it on Monday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jessica Campbell.
Yeah,
I just
I would
but
kill
ahead.
to have Jessica. I want Jessica Campbell to be the head coach of the Bruins. I pissed my dad off when I said that. I like her offensive scheme. I do. I think
Well-
it's partially talent based in Seattle because I think that it should. I think it should work, but that's my 2 cents.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if she doesn't get that Kraken coaching job. If she
If
goes
she
to
takes
play,
the PWHL Kraken.
yeah, she'll take the. I
Seattle.
think she's gonna stay in Seattle. If she doesn't get the Kraken head coach job, there's no way I don't see the PWHL being like, hey, you're already in Seattle. Why don't you become our head coach?
That
don't know what the
happened this
pay looks
week.
like.
We've had so bad of a week. We forgot Seattle got announced this week.
Yeah, whatever. Who cares?
Well, that's part of all this too, right? Because like we can't even be that happy about a second overall pick because we don't even know how it's gonna work this expansion draft.
Yeah. I've been saying all this time Haley win, but if we're drafting like 4, that's where we pick her.
I doubt that they would
Yeah.
like make our pick worse. I don't know if maybe they'll make the expansion teams pick from teams first or something. I don't really know how it's gonna work.
So
but
they
it's
do
gonna be
they do
different.
an expansion draft first. So
Yeah.
they pick from the existing team.
Okay, so right, that'll be first.
And like
So then, yeah,
one-
how do they seed the other 2 picks?
I would
Leave
assume
them
like
last
the
because they get
WNBA,
the pluck from everybody else.
like the WNBA, where this year Golden State picked after all the non-playoff teams.
Okay.
So
yeah,
that's
okay,
kind
so
of
right in
that's
between.
what I
them
have in
picking-
mind.
and
So
they-
they'd be
they pick
3-4?
third.
Yeah, they would pick 3rd and 4th, which kind of is the best and fairest option in my opinion.
Yeah.
Where the teams that stunk up the season this year, well, not really the Fleet, they barely missed the playoffs, but the Sirens.
No,
I
I was gonna say no one stunk. 3 teams with 44 points is impressive
Yeah.
for the league.
Yeah, and I don't want to like give us all a reality check, but the Sirens, we like all year we've been like, what are they doing? What's going on? Like, why are they so bad? They're not that far behind us. Like, they're like 2
Nope.
games. They're 7 points behind. We have 1 more regulation win than they do.
The
Like,
yeah.
Sirens, the
The Sirens
Sirens
are gonna be
losing
scary.
streak happened
Yeah.
concurrently. The Sirens lost whatever it was, 7, 8 in a
Mm-hmm.
row, and then won on the other ends of it.
Yeah.
Was what it was. Whereas the Fleet lost roughly the same amount of games, but did it at the beginning and at the end of the season.
Yeah, I'd like to say like
And you might not
like
have to that
I-
team. Goodness gracious.
imagine imagine a line of Fillier, Carpenter, and Murphy.
I don't want to imagine that because we have to play against them.
Imagine a team with Abby Rock and Abby Murphy.
I truly wonder. I think for the first time we'll see a women's hockey league split into divisions, just because to ease that travel burden.
Well, you're still gonna have 2 teams with a significantly more or a heavier
Yeah.
travel schedule. I don't like how do you. Who's the odd man out, right? Or who are the odd? So Minnesota's easy, well, quote unquote easy, the
Minnesota,
easiest,
Seattle,
and then
Vancouver, Toronto.
well, yeah, other than
Yeah.
other than Vancouver and Seattle, yeah. So you've got Minnesota's obviously the West or whatever, and then yeah, what is it, Toronto? Like,
It's probably Toronto,
and
but
it's not even.
Ottawa. I think you keep Boston, Montreal in the same.
Yeah.
The same
no,
division.
and but that's the thing.
Boston,
If
New
you,
York.
if you go to divisions, you have to play the New York team more times
Yeah.
than
Yeah,
other
I think
teams.
that team's gonna be very. If Abby Murphy declares, she had no news on that. that team is going to be a very frustrating team to play against for the whole league. Because not just Abby Murphy, you not just have Abby Murphy, flapping her gums all game. You also have Abby Rock flapping her gums all game. Those two coming at you. You have two lines of two people that are gonna sit there and going to get into your head all game. It's gonna lead to they're gonna frustrate teams. That's how they're gonna win games, is by frustrating opponents. And then you have Sarah Fillier right there scoring goals left and right.
That's what I was gonna say. Is, have you guys looked at, because the season's over now, have you looked at like the skater stats or anything like that?
Scary.
Like do you know who the top 2 points earners were?
Fillier and
they both got 29. Yeah, both of them tied for first, 29 points. Neither of them in the playoffs.
Oh, love it.
Yep.
Because they carried their teams.
I mean, could you imagine the natural progression of Hillary Knight's career would have been for her to regress? Now, of course, she's Hillary freaking Knight, stuck the bird to it, and had a great season because she does what she wants. She's a great player. Great for you, Hillary Knight. Seriously, I'm glad you're on our team and not on anybody else's. But if she did take that regression, we might not be talking about 1 overall just to the fact on we wouldn't have gotten the golden points. And listen, I'm excited for expansion because I don't think they're going to expand the playoffs. I think 1 through 4 are still going to make it, and I think 4 to 8 are going to play for golden for the golden points.
That makes sense, yeah.
But like, we're not. If she took that regression, we're not talking about.
No.
Oh man, it's a bummer that we missed the playoffs. We're talking about what do we do to rebuild this team.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to be talking about that anyways. Everybody's going to be rebuilding.
I don't think Kalvin realizes he's muted, which is the most Zoom call thing.
Oh.
No, sorry. No, my.
Oh, that's worse.
For a second.
Oh, now we're in the AirPods, and that might be.
I think we're off the AirPods. I think it is the problem.
Oh, that's grainy, Kalvin.
Yeah.
That is grainy.
Yeah. I should be better.
Yep.
Am I better?
That's a lot better.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you were on the AirPods, and I thought it automatically switched it. But, I didn't realize I was muted. Thank you for telling me. It would have been funnier if you just didn't tell me the rest of the podcast.
I wanted to wait to see how long you were gonna figure that out. But
No.
you just kept talking.
Oh no.
Yeah.
We were talking over you the whole time.
No. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
No. So
Seriously, go back and watch the video version. It's a little funny if you just see that you just kept going.
no, if Hillary and I had the season she had last year, and she had it this year, I don't think we'd be talking about second overall. I think we'd be talking about having a first overall.
But we wouldn't have. I'm saying we wouldn't have gotten the golden points to get 1 overall. I'm saying we wouldn't have won.
Yeah, you have to win a game. Yeah.
Oh, true.
The league says no. You still have to play hockey,
You still have to actually try.
which I appreciate.
But-
that's not.
But with 8 teams, teams eliminated earlier, so more golden point plans coming into play.
No, I agree. All right, so let's jump into this point that I'm not 100% thrilled to jump in about, as it's kind of the last thing on the outline before the word bitch. Let me be clear here to those of you that are, again, listener discretion advised. Today, I'm going to put a disclaimer at the front of this episode. But
I was gonna say after you.
Colorful language ahead.
Yeah.
But I'm not calling anyone that. I'm just saying that's the general consensus for whatever comes after this point, is the amount of people that are tweeting at us they're abandoning the team. I mean, it's not a large number, but it's not an insignificant number. I'd say 4 or 5 tweets about how people are just giving up on the fleet, which is, dude.
I don't.
We don't want you. If you're gonna
Well,
be like that, we don't want you. All right.
Yeah, my response to that is always bye. Like, good luck, best to
If
you.
you're gonna
Don't come
sit
back.
there in the second they start losing, and you're gonna sit there and not go through the tough times, get out. We don't want you. Go to Toronto. Go to Montreal, where the grass is greener. No, we don't want you. We want the people that'll be here through the tough
They're
times.
gonna go to Seattle because it's an American franchise. It's not an original franchise, but they're gonna be successful because one of those two teams is going to make the playoffs. They're gonna get enough people
Or
from
both.
they're gonna get enough people from the expansion draft. They're gonna get good draft picks, and you have Callie Flanagan is not returning to Toronto. Callie Flanagan is going to go play for Seattle. That is Toronto's #1 defender.
No, we're not a fastest.
Yep, but still, that's going to Toronto or going to Seattle because it's her home state, and she has been fighting for a team in Seattle for this whole time. She outright said it when she was playing for the Pride. She was like, "Yeah, I'm here because."
was from Burlington.
No, Callie Flanagan is an American.
Yeah, I thought she was from Mass.
She's from Washington.
Oh,
Not well. At least
She's
not
in the
according to the
airport.
PWHL
She's in the-
website. It says
Really?
Burlington,
She's from-
Mass.
it says she's from Burlington.
So she's coming to Boston.
First of all, I would love Flanagan back in Boston. I would kill to have Callie Flanagan back in Boston.
Yeah,
I don't know. I mean, there
think
could be
that
like
in
a
Boston.
maybe she grew up out there or something. I don't know. But the
Maybe.
PWHL website
She's
does say.
she's at at
Could've
Logan
sworn there
Airport.
was-
There's you're the one that's supposed to know about all the former Pride players.
I know. That's why I know. There was a former Pride player from Washington which is why I swear it was Callie Flanagan because.
No, she's
it
from
was-
Massachusetts.
Thank you. I'm learning this now, but I could have sworn it was Callie Flanagan on the fact of it was a player. It was an Olympian who played with Mara in 2018 who said, since there isn't a team in Washington, my choice was made of where Coach Mara was, and he's in Boston.
Yeah, she's in Logan Airport. They have all the Olympians from Massachusetts around, and she's one of them, which is pretty cool.
That is
So is Megan Duggan.
Yeah, Megan's a queen.
And no, I remember last year when the Scepters went out to the Maple Leafs watch party. She was there with the Maple Leafs jersey, and her dad quote tweeted it, "Traitor." Oh no! It was she's gone to the dark side.
Oh yeah.
Either way, listen. I've had the absolute pleasure to meet a lot of players' parents. Callie Flanagan's parents are some absolute characters. I love them. Not as much as characters as Taylor Gerard's parents. Megara McManus's parents were absolutely insane. And shout out Artie Davis, Sammy Davis's dad. But I've met a lot of people's parents. The Flanagans are just a wild bunch. I love them.
Yeah, this is a parents podcast now. Hockey parents podcast.
Well, that's a lot of banging on the boards and swearing at referees. Okay.
Yeah.
But, listen, to get back to the point, don't abandon your team. I'm sorry.
No.
I'm sorry. We're talking about a city that have we become so spoiled? We're talking about a city that waited 84 years for a world championship in baseball, but now we're so spoiled that we're gonna jump ship when somebody's not good. It's the same thing I felt when people were like, "Oh no, I'm a Bucks fan because Brady went to the Bucks." It's like, no, you're not. You're a Patriots fan.
Right.
No, those are just
Like-
the bandwagons that came here because of Brady. Let's be real.
But so I'm sorry if baseball were started, if the Red Sox went into the drought now, let's say the Red Sox.
Oh no, it'd be terrible. Yeah.
Do you know how many people will become Atlanta Braves fans because they go, "Oh, they were the Boston Braves, so I'm allowed to do that," and they're good. No, don't abandon your team. Stop tweeting at us that you're abandoning the team. What do you want to get? Here's your rise out of me that you want. I'm sorry because that pisses me
Yeah.
off.
That's very fake.
I'm not gonna
You
tweet it
Twitter
at you.
user.
I'm not gonna at anybody, okay? But I'm sorry, saying you're gonna abandoning the team is piss poor to me. It is, and I know that some of you listen to the podcast because some of you tweet stuff at us about the podcast. So I guess you're not listening anymore. So it doesn't matter if I'm insulting you here because you went on to another team. I'm sorry. That's poor.
Yeah, you can start your own podcast without 3 fabulous guests. or host.
Yeah, they're the worst fans and I mean, everybody's allowed to be upset and everything too. It's just, but just
Oh,
like
I
it's
went
just
through
a
it.
weird thing for me to be like, I would never. I mean, maybe it's just because of the way that I've been grown up and played sports and all that stuff. But just like it feels so silly to me to like half of the point of being a fan is going through the bad stuff. Like, and I understand that we've been spoiled. Like my generation specifically is like we've watched a lot of success in this city, and there are a lot of people who are like jaded in that and they don't realize what they've seen. But at the same time, it's like that's I don't know. I mean, I grew up waiting for the Sox to win the World Series, right? So it's like my dad went to the game in St. Louis or whatever it was, and like he was there. He's
curse
in the
was broken a
documentary.
little before my time.
Yeah.
Did he see Jimmy? Jeez, that made Kalvin. You know what I had to tell Kalvin before he got on before you hopped on the call is Kalvin was like, yeah, he was like my AirPods, something about his AirPods, and I was like, listen here, son.
They were dead.
When we rode the bus to middle school, we had the wired headphones to an MP3 player you weren't allowed to have. I want that noted. You were not allowed to have, and it would get caught in like either the emergency exit thing or the the little gap in the window, and yet we'd fray the wire, and then you'd have to ask your parents to get new headphones, and they'd take you to the drugstore, and you get another $1 pair. Like, that's what we had to deal with. We didn't get wireless earbuds on the bus to middle school.
I mean, it looks nice. Like it's nice and appealing right now to look at because you don't got to see like a big ass like.
Yeah. No, it's always weird to me actually is when they do those like
that Boston ego.
The NHL walk-in pictures like to games and stuff, and then like the players with the wired headphones. I'm always like, what is that? What are you doing? Like, what year is it, brother? Like, what are you doing? Like, wired headphones weren't even a thing when you were a child. Like,
listen, Marc-Andre Fleury could not connect AirPods right now. Like, cuts.
Did you guys see that he's going to play for Canada?
They better start him too. They better.
Oh yeah.
Do not put him on the bench.
I don't care if it's a meaningless game. Like,
yeah. The fact that they didn't bring him to the Four Nations, I'm still upset about that.
I saw Swayman was getting scratched on Team USA.
For who?
No, for two guys I've never heard of.
Joey Decord.
Oh, well, Alex playing still, though.
Hampton.
So is Otter.
I'm not even trying to say his last name. He's still in college.
Joey Decord's a local product.
Yeah, he is.
Isn't he? He's also like a triple citizen or something crazy.
He's from like.
I'm sorry, and Cam Neely didn't draft. He's a local product, and Cam Neely has not drafted him. That's
the Kraken might as well be Boston West. Well, one of the Boston West teams. And you've got Matty Beniers too.
Yeah, but you have Matty Beniers.
Matty Beniers.
Yeah, and then but true Boston West is San Jose. But anyways, that's a different podcast.
Yeah, we're not Bruins diehards.
No.
But that's it. I'm just so just to end it like that just frustrates me. It does. There is my rant on it. You're not gonna get it from us on Twitter. There's the cat just chilling on the laptop now. You guys can still hear me, right?
No, I think that Boston fans are really, really, really fickle. If you're not gonna stick with us through the tough times, you're not gonna be a fan when we win the Walter Cup.
No, they will.
Right?
That's the problem.
All right. Here's the deal. If you're not a fan now,
okay,
you're not hopping on the train when we're good.
No.
I will call you out. I will. I know. I see you.
It says connected.
I see you.
There we are.
I see you.
Yeah.
I will say something.
Yeah. I don't know. I just
like how it
it's
just
like
pointed to my camera.
just like I don't know. It's just boring for me. It's just kind of like whatever. Just don't do your discourse about leaving and throwing your. That's like the burning jersey thing that always comes around whenever a Canadian team loses.
I
in
hate
the
that.
NHL. It's like that's the same thing to me. It's like what do you come on, go away.
That was like a.
There are people burning Mitch Marner's jersey. They're still in the playoffs.
It's the same. It's the same video. It's not even the same video gets posted every year. It's not even somebody did do it, but it was like 5 years ago.
No. I'm thinking about this. You're spending over $200 on a jersey and you're burning it. That's such wasted money.
Well, yeah, then they
the
throw it on the
NFL
ice.
ones when they burn the NFL ones, like an NFL, and especially when sometimes they're like custom ones, and it's like that's $350, dude. What are you doing? Like
Also, it's
the
materials.
the
that you
jerseys
shouldn't-
for the PWHL aren't cheap either. I wouldn't
No.
do that.
They're
They're made of
the-
materials you shouldn't be inhaling the smoke of either. Like you're probably doing bodily harm by doing that.
But no, obviously it was a very rough ending to the year, but there's a lot of good to look back on. This
For the
year,
year,
yeah, throughout the year, there's a lot of good to look back on, but obviously it was a very, very sour ending. I was very upset about that. It took me about a day to really like chill out, take a chill pill, and kind
You
of
were one of the people that tweeted that you were gonna abandon the
set my
team.
emotions. No, set my emotions straight. No, I love this team. I will not.
Oh,
betray
it's
the
not Cal. That makes sense.
Yeah.
No, I'm always the one that's like jokingly like, oh, this team sucks. They're not gonna win. Blah blah blah. I'm saying it as a joke and like trying to reverse jinx them, and then they ended up sucking anyways.
All right, in post-mortem fashion, as again, this is the post-mortem for the season. The body is officially cold. The season is over. But as Kalvin mentioned, there was some good. So let's go through some of the positives and some of the negatives of this season. Lauren Gable experienced a massive loss in the loss of her nephew that she was extremely open about, but also was extremely resilient and extremely great foster mother of a now adopted puppy that truly was continuing to put more good into this community. While it was an awful tragedy that came out of it, Lauren Gable truly remained an absolute fighter, was truly awesome, and we do hope that you return next season because truly you are awesome. You are amazing. The Boston Fleet continued to help set attendance records with takeover tour games in St. Louis, Buffalo, and Seattle. The Seattle one being a massive, massive crowd that would lead to the expansion into Seattle and Vancouver, cited directly as one of the reasons there. One of the only road wins of the season. It was technically a home win as well.
Quickly on that too, I think I was checking like partway through the season. I think Lowell, we were like one of the only teams with an increase in our attendance, if I remember correctly. I don't know what the final numbers ended up being, but I think we might have been the only team that had an actual increase, which is abnormal. You're supposed to lose.
I think that Toronto and Montreal obviously had increases because they moved to a bigger venue.
I think Montreal actually went down because that was one of the things that. Well, this was whenever I looked at the stats, it was probably a couple months ago. That's why I want to see the final stats. But at least partly through the season, we were. I know Minnesota went down significantly, and I think Montreal was only down like a few hundred or whatever.
As someone that was there at every single home game, and I can say this confidently because I was at every single home game. I only missed one period of Fleet home hockey that wasn't a takeover game. There was a lot of growth throughout the season in Tsongas, and they don't get enough. The fans that came out do not get enough credit for it.
Yeah.
Obviously, a lot of them were not on the weekend. Right. A lot of them were during the week, where a lot of little kids can't stay till 10 o'clock at night watching the Fleet play. And honestly, like the last two games, they were pretty well attended, in my opinion. Like 7,000 plus people there to watch the Fleet in the regular season, like
4,600. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh, you mean total?
Yeah. But it is.
No. I meant 100.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
That is a note on that is a note on the postmortem. The Boston Fleet sold out both Tsongas Center and Aganis Arena for more sellouts than last season by a whopping number. It was 3 at UMass Lowell and 2 at Aganis Arena. It was 1 last year. So That's truly just a great. I could be wrong on that number. I did a quick check on just scrolling through tweets of like, hey, that says sold out. That says sold out. That says sold out. But
Yeah. I think the other day was like 56 or something like that, 54. It was close. So-
Yeah, they obviously sell pretty good, and
Yeah.
I think for now, Songus, in my opinion, is their best venue.
they'll be back at Songus next season.
Yeah.
I think.
I hope
think
so.
that
I really do hope so. I think they're
I-
just starting to reach the community in Lowell and people that'll come to those games. Just now, halfway through the season, they just started getting those people to be like, "Oh, there's a team here. Oh, let me check them out."
Yeah.
I think Aganis also had a positive impact on Lowell of people in Boston proper realized that this product was worth going out to Lowell
Yeah.
for.
Mhm.
That too, yes.
Kind of like a mini takeover tour.
It was, yeah.
We need okay on the bucket list next year. TD Garden, all right?
Yeah.
Was, which again on the post-mortem list of this season, the Boston Fleet would play the Montreal Victoire from Bell Center in a
that outta here.
massive,
I
in a
don't care
massive
about
crowd
Canada.
for
I don't care about
in a massive crowd for women's hockey, which would also be the largest crowd that a Boston professional women's hockey team would play in front of. Do wish we stole that one from them, but it seriously was, all in all, a great game. A lot of players rotated through the lines due to a significant amount of injuries. Rookie Hannah Bilka put up an impressive Rookie of the Year campaign prior to her injury. Local Boston hero Jillian Dempsey returned to the Fleet roster and saw significant playing time in the middle of the season, returning to the town that she calls home. While the fate of her career remains unknown, it was great to see 14 in Boston on that ice once again. Aaron Frankel put forth a extremely goaltender of the year worthy season. Again, Saturday kind of skewed the GAA and save percentage, but that's not to say that she did not put up something worthy of the award that may go to her at the end of the season. On top of accolades, Fleet Captain Hillary Knight absolutely turns around from her season and boasts 29 points in 30 games. Wow, Hillary, it was great to obviously have you
Welcome
on
back.
our team.
Yes.
Seriously, absolutely awesome, phenomenal. We had a few engagements, a few pregnancies, a lot of things for a multitude of players, former players, and yes, Danielle Marmer did get engaged within this year's season cycle. That counts. So we really did have a lot of joy for a lot of players this season as well. Community engagement this season was skyrocketed, from helping out at food banks to local community rinks. They did a lot of extended reach out for camps. So they weren't camps, they were like the day camps.
They got a dog adopted.
They did. They got a dog adopted.
They got a dog adopted. I'm
They
not
were
gonna
also
lie.
at humane
love that dog,
shelters, and they're at humane shelters and a lot of other places throughout the season. Yeah, that is what I have. Any other positives or negatives that you guys remember from the season that you'd like to talk about?
I mean, Hannah Bilka. That's we don't have to talk about it, but just when she played, she was awesome, and I'm excited to see more of it hopefully next year. Yep. Alina Mueller also had she had that slump, and then she got the monkey off her back, and she was unstoppable.
At
And
the
then
beginning of the year, yeah.
Worlds. Yep.
I'm excited. I'm hoping that next year she comes back and she's gonna be an animal. I'm hoping next year she comes back with a little bit of a chip on her shoulder. And, you know, obviously, if you don't know by now, Alina is my favorite player.
Really? Kalvin, I couldn't tell.
No, I'm talking to the viewers. I know you guys know.
Really, Kalvin, they couldn't tell.
But yeah, no, I'm looking forward to next season already, and I'm looking forward to the draft and the expansion draft. I will be at the draft. fortunately. So yeah, no, I'm excited for the off season and next season. In our quest to make the playoffs and win a Walter Cup and bring it to Boston next year.
I'm glad that you're excited because I'm terrified.
I'm excited. It's
Alright.
gonna be a different team. I'm a little excited to see how it looks.
I'm not.
The final 2 points to make before we wrap this up is one. As you all have noticed, we have talked for an hour and have not done any notation of picks. That is because Anthony has won the picks contest. I couldn't catch him last week.
I feel like I got everything wrong this week. No, that's not
and I
true. I
still
rode the
couldn't
New
catch
York
you.
train.
I think I got everything right this week.
So yeah, no, Kalvin, you did.
See,
But-
you tried to flip it, and that's what you get. 'Cause the whole time you were doing picks, you're like, I'm gonna flip it around on its head. You were trying to be secretive about it, but the world, everything knew.
No, it's because you guys said something.
And the final point to make on this episode that will wrap up the regular season for us, the final point, Fleet Diehards as a podcast returned. We're extremely grateful to John for letting us to continue this, to all the people that have been there before, to Spencer, to Colin, to everybody that helped get us back up on the ground, to the Brews and Bruins crew, to Lancey, to Court, to everyone that helped as the dog scream barks through. This was a very large undertaking to get back up, and I'm extremely proud that we did this. But there were some weekends that I know all of us didn't feel like recording. I know that there were some weekends that it was hard to get tweets out, that it was a lot. But as someone who a year ago was ready to just hang up the Fleet Diehards name, hand off the account, and ride off into the sunset, giving it another year was really great to be. I owe a lot to Kalvin and Anthony for revitalizing my love for doing this and being part of this. I'll always be a diehard of this team, but I didn't know if I wanted to keep making and producing content. And these two guys here really made it so that it was fun, that it was enjoyable to hop on every week. We had some great points. We'll have and continue to have some great guests in the off season. We officially switched to an every other week schedule starting. It might be 2 weeks off just of how my coaching schedule falls, but we'll keep you guys posted on when the episode after this one will come out. But truly, truly, truly thank you all for the support. The numbers have risen consistently throughout every week, and it just means a lot that you guys let us get back on our feet here and that you guys embraced us again when it was 3 new hosts that you don't even know as the cat is ripping me down. Okay.
Just
So
so note really
you
quick
guys have
before you
anything
sign
that
off.
you'd like to say? Yes.
Yeah,
Please.
I want to say that you said a lot of we there, and I do appreciate that. And I don't speak for Kalvin, but it's like 90% you. Like you've done so much work. So like I appreciate you extending some of that to me, but like most of this is with you. So I hope that the viewers like understand that, or the listeners. And that's all I wanted to say. So thank you, Oliver.
I appreciate that you gave me the opportunity to do this, to make your graphics sometimes. It's
When he
it's,
well, as he said at the start of the show, when he feels like it.
Yeah.
yes, when I feel like it. Not really. If Oliver sends me a message and is like, hey, I need this from you, I will do it. I am at Oliver's will with the graphics, but I try.
Kalvin has
to
robbed 6 banks this season. There's a string of bank robberies in LoL, and Kalvin's the culprit.
No, I really appreciate you taking the risk on me and the chance on me. Obviously, I'm not. I'm a lot younger than both of you.
Hey.
Not a lot. Not a lot.
A
man.
lot?
You're younger.
No.
than
Yeah,
us,
come
not
on.
a lot. Okay.
I'm a little bit younger than both of both Anthony and Oliver, and I really do truly appreciate the opportunity that Oliver has given me and the opportunity you guys have given us to have this platform to speak about the fleet, even for better or for worse. I appreciate everybody who leaves a comment, who listens, and it means a lot to to me at least. I'm pretty sure it means a lot to the other two as well. That's about it. I'm talking a little too much, so
All right, we'll see you all in a couple of weeks. Thank you all so much. Thank you to Bruins Diehards for always being the support system. Thank you to the cat is on the laptop again. Thank you to Brews and Bruins for doing everything you guys continue to do, and we will see you all next time. Bye, everybody.
But